Hey again everyone, I'm back with another video for you, and today I want to talk to you about readathons. Yay, readathons! A little over the top, maybe. I'm participating in my very first readathon and I'm so excited, but I'm doing it differently. I don't like to follow rules sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Anyway, I think readathons are a great idea. I love the concept. And I am going to do Zoe's, ReadByZoe's Readathon, 24-hour readathon. But I'm doing it differently. I'm kind of combining that with the 24 and 48 readathon that I've been reading about too. But I'm doing that a little differently as well. I'm going to try to read for 24 straight. I was going to spend the last 3 days of February. Today is February 26th. So I'm going to spend the last 3 days of February on this readathon. And I'm calling mine Finish Up February. Because what my goal is for this readathon, these 3 days, is to finish up books that I have started. I was looking back in Goodreads and on my shelf and in the history at the library, and I have a lot of books that I have checked out from the library or have in my possession or have on my Kindle that I have started and gotten 2 or 3 chapters in. Some of them I've gotten halfway through and just never pushed through and finished them. So my goal is to finish as many of those books as I can, and let me share with you my TBR. Let's start with the one that I've already been listening to this morning. I've gotten about 45 minutes of reading in already today, and it's let's see, it's 11:20. Yeah, or I'm sorry, 11:25. That clock's wrong. It's 11:25, and I've only read for 45 minutes on day one. And I have to read, 8 hours today. Yeah, okay. This readathon's not starting off very well. So anyway, I have been listening to Lemony Snicket's When Did You See Her Last? This is book 2 of the All the Wrong Questions series. I started this the series last year. Absolutely loved the first book. What was it called? Who Could That Be at This Hour? That was what it was called. It was so much fun. We had a lot of fun reading it, and we started the second book, but never finished it. I got to like chapter 4 or 5, something like that, and then life happened and I just never finished it. So another book that I started some time ago and never finished, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. No, I've never read it. I've never seen the movies. I've seen bits and pieces of the movies, like when the kids were watching it, or one of the movies. I know basically the story, but I've never read it, and I've kind of always wanted to and just never have. So you may have never heard of this one. This is The Alamo by Lon Tinkle. This is a really, really old book. I bought this June 5th, 1983, when I was 13 years old. So you can tell how old I am. I'm 48. At the Alamo gift shop when my family was there visiting. And I've never read it. Imagine that. So I picked it up last year, never finished it. Again, got to page 37, which ends chapter 3. So I decided I was going to finish this book. And no, it's not on audio. Not on audio. No. I'm going to finish it in the next 3 days. It's been too long. So, I know I should be able to finish Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I think I have pronounced that correctly. I'm so sorry if I haven't. I am about halfway through, about to start chapter 29. I This is the first book that I don't have this on audio, physical book that I'm going to focus on getting completed, because if I can get this done in the next 3 days, I will feel like I have accomplished something very, very good, because I've been trying to read it for so long. Now, the next one, Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. I am not very, well, I'm about a third of the way through, I guess. You can see here I am on, about ready to start chapter 26, page 290, but that sounds like a lot, but it's 870 pages. I'm using this as my treat book. I don't really want to rush through this, so I'm kind of not really going to focus on being sure I'm going to complete this book over the next 3 days, because I love this world so much. And I do have the next 2 books already, Drums of Autumn and The Fiery Cross. So I could, if I finished this, I could start on one of those in the next month. But I really don't want to rush this. I want to savor it. I want to enjoy it, take my time. So I'm using this as a treat. If I set some goals on the other books and I complete those, then before I go to bed at night, I can read 1 or 2 chapters of Voyager. So I'm going to end this section now, and I'll come back with you when I have something to share. So day 1, 45 minutes read so far, and it's 11:35. Yeah. You see my face turning red? Okay. I better get reading. I'll see you soon. Okay, I thought it would be time for an update. It is 3:18 on Monday, day 1 of the Readathon, or my Readathon. I have read almost 3 hours, 2 hours and 53 minutes to be exact. So I think I'm doing pretty well. We're getting there. I have finished When Did You See Her Last by Lemony Snicket, although I haven't updated it on my Goodreads yet. I'll do that in a minute. But I finished this book. It was so cute. I read another chapter in The Alamo, and I read another chapter in Americana, and I'm trying to get where this glare today, it's not a good spot right here by this window in the afternoon. In the mornings it's fine, but hopefully soon I'll have my office fixed up back there, and I'll have all my books in there, and all my crochet stuff in there, and all my knitting in there, and I won't have to sit by this window, and I can have my lights up, and it'll be nice. Hopefully soon. So since I talked with you last, I did that reading that I just said. I made some phone calls that I needed to make. I got a shower. I cut my hair. I decided that it's been a long time since I've had bangs, and so I gave myself bangs. I ate lunch. I started dinner. I wanted to do something for these next 3 days, just something really simple. So for tonight, I got a whole chicken at the store the other day, and I just put it in the oven with some salt, pepper, and olive oil on top of it, and I just put it in the oven. And I already have salad. Made a salad up the other night, big huge salad, so I still have some of that left over. And I'm just going to make some pasta and maybe put some pesto on it, and that's our dinner tonight. And then I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm probably going to use the leftover chicken from tonight's meal. Use that tomorrow. Maybe quesadillas, or I'm not sure. Haven't figured that out yet. But anyway, it'll be simple and quick and easy because I want to spend my time reading instead of cooking tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to do now, since I'm almost right at 3 hours, I just made myself a cup of tea. I think I'm going to go to the living room, sit down for a little while my laundry finishes drying, and maybe get some more reading done. And then I may give you an update after that. I'm not sure. Just depends on how much time I do get to read. Ron probably won't be home tonight for dinner until maybe 6:37, so I won't have to worry about that for a while. And the chicken's going to be good for a couple of hours anyway. So, I got a lot of my stuff done already. I made some phone calls. I did whatever chores I could do. There's not a lot I can do lately, but I do my best. And I think I'm just going to spend another hour or so trying to get in some time reading. And if I don't make 8 hours today, that's fine. I'll just get up a little earlier tomorrow and start a little earlier than I did today. Maybe not start at, 11 o'clock or whatever time I started reading. 10:30, whatever time it was, I don't know. Like the chip in my cup. Isn't that cute? Oh well, the tea is good. So I will get some more reading done and I'll check back with you soon. Okay, I'm back with my last update for day 1, and sorry if I'm talking a little too softly. Ron's gone to bed. I'm not too far from that. Teddy's playing over there. It is about 9:30 on day 1, Monday, and I did catch up quite a bit today. I've read for a little more than 6.5 hours, so I think that's been great considering my really late start this morning. I'm about to go read some Voyager, as long as I get a little bit more reading done on the other things. So let me kind of give you a heads up as to what I've done here. Earlier I finished When Did You See Her Last by Lemony Snicket. So that's done. Book 1 is done. Yay! I started The Hunger Games, and I am just about to start chapter 7. Chapter 7. Page 86 is where I've gotten to in that. And I don't know if I'm going to read any more of this tonight or not. It just depends on how these other two go. The Alamo, I have finished chapter 4. So I'm up to page 46. I'd like to get 1 or 2 more chapters of this read tonight, but who knows. Where I'm really going to focus is on Americana. I have finished chapter 29, and I am on about to start chapter 30, page 279. So I've got a little bit more to do. I think I'll probably be able to read till at least another hour, maybe even another hour and a half, where I could get my 8 hours in today. That would be awesome. But I'm not going to be upset if I don't get 8 hours in today, because like I said, I started late. And if I do, great. If I don't, I'll make it up tomorrow. And so I'm going to finish this vlog for tonight, and I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 2 of my readathon, and it is 5 a.m. I've been up for about 45 minutes, not by my choice, but someone whose name I won't call, but it begins with a T and ends with an Eddie, got into our trash last night and then woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning because apparently he got into something that upset his tummy and he wanted to go OUT. He was so funny when I heard him in the trash. I heard him, and I got up to see what he was doing, and I came in the kitchen, and he stopped and he looked at me, just turned his head and looked like deer in the headlights, and just stood there while I was staring at him, and then stared at me. And I know he was thinking, if I stand perfectly still, she won't see me. Got this, she won't see me. But I saw him. He's not invisible. So I made him stop, and he came to bed with me after that, and I was telling Ron what he was doing. So we played with him a little bit, and usually when we tell him to stop doing whatever he's doing, he will, and he will not go back to it. But whatever was in the trash last night was yummy. And then he woke me up at 4 this morning to go OUT. He's already back in the house, and I was curled up on the couch waiting for him to come back in, and now he's on my spot on the couch. So I figured I would vlog. So before I get into what's going to happen today, I want to give you an update on what I finished last night. I ended up reading almost 2 more hours after I last spoke with you, and my totals for yesterday, I read for 8 hours and 48 minutes. I was pretty impressed with that, especially since I didn't get a start as soon as as early of a start as I had wanted. Teddy. But anyway, so I have my coffee. I decided I would go ahead and stay up because I was going to read some, but then I started watching YouTube videos, and I got sucked into that, so I didn't get any reading done. And I went ahead and made coffee, and I have the heater heaters, little space heaters going, because I left the kitchen window open last night, and it is cold in here, but the fresh air, I love it, and Ron hates it because he gets so cold. So I thought I'd go ahead and get the house warmed up before he got up. So I have all the heats in the house going. But I'm really proud of myself. I did not think I was going to get 8 hours in yesterday, but I did. Now today I think I'm going to concentrate less on audiobooks and really buckle down on Americana and the Alamo. I did get another chapter of each one of those read last night, so I'm about to start chapter 6 of the Alamo, and that was page 58, and about to start chapter 31 of Americana. That's all the way up to part 4, so at least I've got a part done. And that starts on page 289. So I'd like to finish those today. I don't know if I will or not, but that's the goal. And I think I already told you I did not listen anymore to the audiobook of the Hunger Games, so I'm still about to start chapter 7 of that, which is page 86. So, we'll see how far I get in these today. I may read for a little while, drink my coffee and read in peace until chaos ensues once my boy's awake this morning. So I will sign off for now. See you soon. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see me okay. The sun is very, very bright. I am sitting in line in the car at the vehicle testing station to have the emissions checked in the car because our tags are due tomorrow. So, nothing like waiting till the last minute, right? But, so anyway, while I was here, I thought I would go ahead and give you an update on what's been going on. I read some more of The Alamo this morning, and I have been listening to The Hunger Games while I've been waiting here. So probably about an hour between the two is what I've been reading, and I'd say that's pretty good. I know I have not been sitting here for an hour. I took my husband to work, so that's the deal. So, okay, I'm going to keep listening or keep reading and wait in this silly line until I can go home. I'll talk back with you soon. Okay, guys, it's several days later after the Readathon, and I didn't do so great. I went back and rechecked everything, and if I said something different than this in a previous update, I'm sorry. This that I'm about to tell you is the actual amount that I've read. I think I got something way messed up, but anyway, here's the deal. I only ended up reading for 14 hours, but 14 hours even, which is kind of weird. 14 hours out of the 24-hour period. And so I guess for what I did accomplish as far as the books that I read, I guess that was okay. It's a little bit lower than my average reading pages read per hour, but I think some of it was just that this book is, even though it's really, really interesting, it is the bane of my existence. It is, the font is so tiny. There's so much information on it. It's nonfiction. So there's a lot to digest. And what I think slowed me down is I found myself really sucked into the characters, not the characters, the people in the book, not characters because they were real people, the players, let's put it that way, with all of the people who were at the Alamo. And I found myself finding out interesting little tidbits about them, and then I'd go Google it and say, oh, well, I want to find out more about this and more about this, and I thought this happened here. And so I ended up spending a lot more time on this than the 51 pages of it that I actually did read during the whole 24-hour period or 3-day time frame. So, well, let me get to that in a few minutes. Let me show you what I did finish reading. I finished, I'm trying to block out that glare. When Did You See Her Last by Lemony Snicket. This is the second book of the All the Wrong Questions series. And this, of course, is a middle grade book, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I wish I had known about middle grade March before I did this, because I would have saved this book for March. But, oh well, I didn't find out that until like just a day or so ago. So I'll have my middle grade stuff that I'm going to read in my next TBR. And the second book that I finished was The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And that I should probably make a note. This is why I didn't read anymore. This I finished reading on day 3 at about, gosh, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 or 4. It was fairly early in the afternoon. So, then I decided to watch the movie just to kind of give myself a break from the reading, and I thought, okay, I'll watch half the movie now, and then read some more, and then before I go to bed tonight, I'll watch the rest of the movie. I should probably save rewards like that for myself till the very, very end of the Readathon, perhaps even like the next day, because I ended up watching all 3 movies that night. I couldn't stop. I was sucked in, or actually all 4 movies, sorry, movies for all 3 books, and I didn't read the second 2 books. I've only read this one now. Now I know what's going to happen in the other 2 books, but I'm still going to read them. I have them so I'm going to read them. But I watched the other 3 movies, or all 4 movies that night. I'm insane. I must be. But that's why I didn't get any more reading done. Probably should have saved this till the very, very last few hours of the Readathon. But I didn't. So I got sucked in to the world of the Hunger Games. I've never seen the movies. I've seen bits and pieces of them when the kids would watch them here and there, but I never really got into them because I was doing something else, and I never wanted to watch the movies because I had not read the books yet. So now, yeah, I kind of messed that up. Okay, so page totals: 277 in, when did you see her last? 374 in the Hunger Games. Oh, and by the way, in these that I had started at some time back, because it had been so long, I went back and started from the very beginning. So I'm including all of those total pages in there. However, for the Alamo, the 51 pages that I did read were pages that I had read during the Readathon, because I have been reading this book for the last month, a chapter or so here and there every few days. So I just counted the actual pages that I read. I did not go back to the beginning of this book like I did these 2 books, because they would go quickly. So 51 additional pages of this. And Americana, I only got 24 pages of it read. I really suck at readathons. But I told you, the Hunger Games killed me. I died right there. Yeah, it was... I'm useless. So anyway, I read a total of 726 pages during 14 hours, which is just like 51, 52 pages per hour, which is way less than my average, but I told you why, because this book here. But anyway, I had fun during the Readathon. I do want to do this again. Maybe not over the 3 days, but maybe the 2-day one. Maybe I'll have a little bit more success in that. It was just, by the 3rd day, it got really hard to figure out what I was going to read when, and balancing that with everything else that was going on, because I had some appointments and, you know, life. So, I really had a good time in this readathon. I hope you enjoyed watching my less than stellar attempt at my very first readathon. But thanks for watching, and hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again. Fly high, Pooh Bear.